And from today's installment of Government's Accountability Series, this is News Today. I am MFA Akosia Adati, and the Minister for Defense, Dr. Edward Omani-Boamah, has assured Ghanaians that the government is closely monitoring volatile areas in the country, particularly Boko in the Upper East region and Alavanyo in the Volta region, where tensions remain high. Now, the military continues to maintain a presence in these areas to prevent any further escalation of violence and ensure the safety of residents. Now, speaking on the state of national security at the Government Accountability Series, Dr. Boamah emphasized the importance of distinguishing criminal activities from chieftaincy or traditional dispute, warning that failure to do so could compromise effective law enforcement. He also noted that the government remains committed to restoring calm and order in Boko, including the reconstruction of the demolished statue that has become a symbol of the ongoing conflict. Dr. Boamah confirmed that investigations into the incident are still underway and progressing steadily.
Aimed at enhancing the capacity of participating troops from various countries, the Ghana Army, in collaboration with the United States Army, the Southern Eastern Task Force for Africa, and Special Operations Command Africa, successfully organized African Lion, exercise African Lion and Flintlock in May 2025. Exercise African Lion was held in Ghana, Tunisia, Morocco, and Senegal, and Flintlock was held in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. Overall, 94 troops of the Ghana Army participated in the exercises in Côte d'Ivoire, Tunisia, and Morocco. The Ghana Navy continues to play a crucial role in ensuring the safety and security of key national installations. Regular patrols are conducted to safeguard offshore oil and gas facilities, including the Jubilee oil field, 10 oil.
And as Dr. Boamah admits the security situation in Boko and Alavanyo remains volatile, JoyNews' research reviews defense budget has surged over 60%. And our lead data and research analyst here at JoyNews, Isaac Kofier, joins me in studio for more on this. Kofi, what did you find?
Well, so this is the first time we are seeing defense budgets go up in this astronomical, manner. 6.4 billion Ghana cedis is what the current government is hoping to spend on defense. That's about $640 million on defense. Now, we've been tracking this since 2019. And in fact, you'll be amazed to know that in 2019, our defense budget was around 1.3 billion Ghana cedis. Now we are talking about 6.4 billion Ghana cedis.
Wow.
It tells you how this government views defense and what they want to do already. We understand that government wants to bring on board or recruit some 12,000 new personnel into the security forces or the security system of the country. And in fact, one other thing we've been tracking, if you actually break this down, you compare this 6.4 billion to what we hope to spend in 2024, we are comparing a total figure of 6.4 to 3.9 billion, Ghana cedis in 2024. The difference is more than 2 billion addition to what we expended in 2024. So it shows that this government knows how important defense is. And in fact, we've also been looking at one other aspect, which is the forward-based operation, military-based operation, especially northern border security. If out of the 6.4 billion, Ghana cedis, which majority will go into compensation of employees and all of that, and then also accoutrement, we also know that government is going to spend 100 million Ghana cedis just on northern Ghana defense or border defense. It tells you how volatile that place has become and why it is so important to expend such an amount on that territory, where 100 million Ghana cedis will be expended on just northern Ghana border security. And total amount to be expended on defense this year is expected to be around 6.4 billion.
And you'll find it clearly, and per this figure, it looks like the figure for the north is definitely wider for that of the Volta region.
Absolutely.
Region,
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for bringing that data to our attention. But away from that, I'll take you up north, Bolgatanga particularly. Now, Zorungu Senior High School in the Bolgatanga East District of the Upper East Region has been temporarily closed down following violent clashes among students from different ethnic groups that escalated into arson. Now, the unrest, which began on Saturday, July 19, reportedly stemmed from a dispute over a stolen mobile phone involving students from the Frafra, Kusasi and Mamprusi ethnic groups. Now, the altercation quickly intensified into a riot on campus, with some students setting fire to provision shops owned by private individuals trading on school grounds. The shops, which appeared to be fully stocked, were completely destroyed. The motive behind the attack on the shops remains unclear, though tensions had been building following the phone theft allegations. Upper East Regional Minister Donatus Akamburi, who visited the school on Sunday, confirmed that 4 students have been arrested in connection with the incident and were in police custody. He added that no firearms were retrieved and only 1 student's injury had been recorded. The minister subsequently announced the immediate closure of the school, stating it will remain shut until further notice while investigations continue. When Joy News visited the campus on Monday morning, there were no students present, but debris from the destroyed shops remained scattered across the compound. Now, school authorities declined to comment on the situation as they were locked in a closed-door meeting at the time of the visit. Now, Mr. Akamburi has urged heads of second-cycle institutions to report such incidents promptly to law enforcement and appealed to parents to support school authorities in enforcing rules, particularly those related to mobile phone use. We'll bring you details and updates from this particular story from the Bolgatanga Upper East region, particularly as Albert has been following this. In our subsequent bulletin, we'll definitely bring you the updates. But away from that, a tragic incident has shaken the Kowutafo community in the Eastern region, where a 17-year-old final year student of the St. Joseph Technical Institute, Kwesi Ewa Gorman, was stabbed to death by a friend and schoolmate during a confrontation over money.
According to eyewitness reports, the altercation between Kwesi and the suspect, identified only as Stephen, popularly known as Sugar, turned violent, resulting in Kwesi's fatal stabbing. Speaking to Wadom News correspondent Akwesi Dramina, Ebenezer Gorman, the elder brother of the deceased, is calling for swift justice.
What happened is na me wofa asenke to me na wa around. I'm kwala de omu ntwantro. Baako 8 years and baako so 4 years. Ba na mbi so say eba na san because no mu suwa. No mo kire say no mo ni Sugar ne na mfufuo. Omo ye 8 years.
I came home to find 2 of my young nephews crying. One is 8 years old and the other is 4. I asked them what had happened. The 8-year-old said Sugar was in the company of 4 other people when an argument over money began. Then, all he saw was his uncle being stabbed.
One more students, because it's an organized crime. Woman, who say, "Yeah, kwa din someone." It won't say woman bag the kugu 1 person if ye. So far, yetimi onipana wodin someone anyway,
All the people who were present were students. The person who stabbed my brother later confessed to a neighbor who advised him to report himself to the police, and he did.
Meanwhile, Ata Gorman, sister of the deceased, expressed shock and disbelief, saying there had never been any sign of tension between the boys.
Oko school was St. Joseph Technical Institution. Oh, no.
We lived peacefully at home, and I even left my kids in his care when I traveled.
Answer nam de me manager and answer na me too kwai. Timi wa no mo fra me say obede.
I was later informed that he had been stabbed by a friend. There was no disagreement between them before I traveled. They lived peacefully together. In fact, we all do house chores together.
Bana no mo boy no mo sa. He. Timi de me wa ha de ma hu sa ntokwa sa no.
Kwesi Ewagorman's body has since been deposited at the morgue. The suspect, Stephen, is currently in police custody as investigations continue.
You're watching News Today. I'll take you back to the Upper East region where my colleague Albert Sorry will bring us an update on that particular incident that happened at the Zarugu school. Albert, thank you for joining us this afternoon. What's the situation there currently on campus?
SMFA, so I was on campus of the Zorungu Senior High School this morning up till about 11 a.m. There were no signs of any students on campus. The school authorities were present. A few teachers were on campus. We also have the school's own security personnel stationed at the main gate. I didn't see any presence of police or other security on campus or even at the entrance. So for people who were coming in and out of the campus, it was
Okay.
Albert, I hope I'm not losing you. Can you reposition so we can hear you?
Yeah, so I was saying that, so for people who were arriving from outside, it was the school's own security who would meet you and ask your mission, and then they would tell you to go in and leave when you are done. So people were not allowed to stay around the campus. Okay. So it was virtually empty, except for a few people who were coming and going, and then the school authorities.
Okay, Albert, I hope that I've not lost you, but if you can hear me, what's the extent of damage caused by the fire to these shops that we've told our audience earlier?
Yes, so there were 2 shops which have been burnt on the school's campus. We don't know the story behind why the students chose to attack these shops and burn them down, but I was told that the students attacked these shops which belong to private individuals who are trading on the school's campus. So these are shops, provision shops that were obviously stocked with goods which have been burnt to ashes. This happened ostensibly on Saturday night. Yesterday, the regional minister was forced to close down the school for fear of further escalation of the incident. And that is what we saw on the campus today.
Okay, Albert, again, I mean, we've been telling our viewers that it was about a stolen phone. However, I see 3 factions, the Fafras, the Mamprusis as well. Tell us just a little bit about why a stolen phone, and it concerns these 3 ethnic groups.
Right. So what we gather from our sources close to the school is that a missing mobile phone was being looked for by one group, and a senior student of the school was found in possession of this phone. And the school authorities don't permit students to come to school with phones. And so they could not have reported this student who allegedly was the thief of the phone. And so they decided to beat him up. Now, when they beat him up, he mentioned the name of another student who allegedly is an accomplice in the stealing of the phone. And so they decided to attack this other student, who we are told is a resident of Zorungu, where the school is located. He is said to have reported to some youth of the area that he had been attacked in school. Now, on Saturday evening, the students who beat him up left campus to the township, ostensibly to buy something. And so the natives also decided to ambush them for beating the other student. He, from what we understand, would have been the Frafra student. How the Kusasis and Mamprusis are involved is still a bit sketchy, but later when they went back to campus, it then became a sort of 3-way scuffle between the 3 factions, and that is what eventually led to all the chaos that we have seen so far.
I see, Albert, and so we don't know when the school will resume as of this afternoon.
No, I'm told that the regional minister is in Boku at the moment. It is unclear whether he's there because of this incident. But what we know is that because of how this whole thing turned out, the students who are in the Boku area, when the school was closed down, had to be escorted by military in their bus so they could get home. We're told that the minister is in Boku as we speak.
Okay.
And so I'm sure further investigations are going on because the school authorities are also having a meeting. At the time that I was there, I couldn't get to talk to the headmistress because she was in a meeting with some other people.
Okay.
And so we don't know when the school will be reopened. It's indefinitely closed as we speak.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Albert Story has been bringing us updates on the Zarugu SHS school up in Bolga. Now, thank you. And you're still watching News Today. I'll take you now to the story of the Bank of Ghana and how it has moved to allay fears within the business community, particularly among importers and traders over recent challenges in access and foreign exchange from commercial banks. In a high-level meeting with the leadership of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, the central bank assured that there is sufficient forex available and the situation should not cause panic. The BOG further pledged to engage commercial banks directly to determine the root cause of the perceived shortage and take swift action to resolve it. Meanwhile, GUTA is calling on its members to remain calm but to report any continued difficulties in accessing forests. Now, this afternoon, we're joined by Dr. Joseph Obeng. He's president of GUTA and joins us via Zoom. Thank you for your attention this afternoon. Let us understand to what extent or what has been the scale and impact of the forest access challenge that GUTA members are particularly complaining about.
So for about 6 weeks now, our members have been complaining the difficulties they are facing in accessing forests for their transfers, the delays that goes with it. And so we also, once we are in business, we also have experienced same. And we thought it wise to let the Bank of Ghana know. But the problem here is that we find it difficult to understand why the forests abounds in the forest bureaus and the black market, and then the mainstream banks, we should have the difficulty where the difference between the interbank rate or the Bank of Ghana rate and then that of the black market or the forest bureaus are too huge. And so I can conveniently tell you that about 70% of our transactional rates is derived from the forest bureaus, and it's not helping the cause of businesses. Whilst the mainstream banks are there and we are unable to assess this. So a call for this meeting, and Bank of Ghana assured us that there's enough forest that should not create any alarm among us. And that's why it's
Monday and it's midday already. Have any of your members indicated to you that it's quite easy now to access forests?
Oh, that is too early, as you can see, because we had the meeting only on Friday, and Bank of Ghana is here to meet with the banks. I believe that when they meet with the banks, they will be able to know the reason. Because if a Bank of Ghana makes such a huge intervention, and then the money should rather go to the mainstream commercial banks before it gets to the Forest Bureau. Now the vice versa is the case. And so we also called upon the Bank of Ghana to track the demand or the flow of this forest when they give to the banks.
And so in your meeting, in your meeting with Bank of Ghana, they didn't indicate what could have caused this problem at all?
No, Bank of Ghana didn't seem to be in the know. That's the first thing that I will tell you, because they know they have provided enough forest to the banks. I hope you understand.
Right.
So that's why they are also going to talk with the mainstream banks to see what is actually happening.
And so finally, what short to medium-term measures is GUTA proposing or expecting from both the central bank, commercial bank, to ensure at least consistency and equitable access to forests? I understand that you met only on Friday and it will take a bit of time, but until then, business must go on, right?
Yes. So like we told the Bank of Ghana, they should also review or evaluate their auctioning system so that it will ensure real-time value when we also go and do our transaction at the bank. And they say they don't have problem with the auctioning, and so that's the reason they are going to meet with the banks. We believe that this meeting will be very fast so that it doesn't bring any problem for us in the short term. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today on News Today.
Thank you.
Now, the defunct National Cathedral Secretariat has denied allegations of financial misconduct in the controversial Cathedral project, according to a memo to staff. A comprehensive audit conducted by the international accounting firm Deloitte & Touche found no evidence of financial misappropriation. The audit was initiated to address growing public concerns about the project's financial integrity, aiming to establish transparency and accountability. The Minister of State in charge of Government Communications, Felix Kwakye-Ofosu, disclosed at a news conference that financial irregularities associated with the National Cathedral project have totaled to $97 million. He highlighted that due to the nature of the contract, additional costs of accumulating daily despite the halt in construction activities. And in a memo to staff of the National Cathedral Secretariat, Executive Director Paul Opoku-Mensah said that the government news conference focused solely on the audit queries but did not consider the management's response. Now, my colleague Elton Brobe has obtained a copy of that memo and joins me via Zoom. Elton, so great to see you via Zoom. But what more does the memo say?
Right, so this is dated today, July 21st, 2025, and it's to staff, basically updating them on what has happened so far since the government news conference and what the response of the National Cathedral Secretariat is. Now, Opoku-Mensah, who is the Executive Director, clarified what he termed a misleading presentation of audit findings, insisting that the public discourse so far focused not only on selected audit queries whilst ignoring the Secretariat's detailed responses. He stated that the Minister's news conference on July 18 presented only the management letter portion of the audit without the corresponding responses from the Cathedral Secretariat, creating, according to him, a distorted impression of wrongdoing. Now, he says, and I quote, there are two products from an audit. The memo reads, now, the audit report, which is a formal opinion of financial accuracy and compliance, and the management letter, which offers recommendation for operational improvement. And he says what the minister presented to the public was the management letter focusing only on the queries without the response from the National Cathedral Secretariat. Mr. Opoku-Mensah reiterated that the audit report by Deloitte & Touche referenced in the prior NCG board news conference dated July 8 had confirmed that all state funds to the project are accounted for, disbursement are based on agreement or contract, and payments were made for actual work done. This, according to Ms. Accuracy, wrote, rejecting earlier claims that government funds had been squandered or used only to dig a hole. According to him, the audit found no misappropriation of funds, contrary to some public narrative. He was, however, quick to point that the audit report was not a platform for exonerating any individual or group. The audit report does not include issues of exoneration of any individual or groups of individuals, according to his statement or memo to the staff. The memo called on the staff to familiarize themselves with both the audit report and the management letter, especially the queries raised and the Secretariat's response. He emphasized the importance of internal clarity before the NCG board hosts its own news conference within this week to brief the Ghanaian public on their state of affairs as far as government response is concerned.
Okay. Elton, does anywhere in this memo indicate their plans to at least fold up the organization at all?
It doesn't say anything to the effect. It doesn't give the workers whether they should be on standby or they should prepare themselves to go home because of government directive to the Attorney General to take steps to dissolve the Secretariat so that the country will avoid incurring more costs as it relates to the construction of the National Cathedral. But the letter doesn't, the memo doesn't give any indication as to what is likely to happen to the staff in the event that the Secretariat is dissolved.
Right. Thank you so much, Elton. Also, there's bringing us details of that memo that has generated some conversation from late last week up till this morning. You're watching News Today. Please stay for business.
Welcome back to Business here on JoyNews Today. My name is Winston Taki, and also first business story. The Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority says it is committed to strengthening public-private partnership as part of effort to deliver world-class service to Ghanaians. Speaking to Joy Business at the inauguration of the authority's new ultra-modern Center for Licensing and Vehicle Registration, Deputy CEO Foster Santi emphasized that such collaborations are crucial for streamlining and expediting the licensing process.
Located in the prime area at Ring Road West in Accra, the center established through a partnership between the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority and VFS Global aims to provide a comfortable, efficient, and convenient environment for applicants seeking DVLA services.
If convenience was a human being, I believe you could have touched him or her. It's very convenient, and I think services here are a bit faster than the traditional centers. Looking at the area and where it is situated, I think it is strategically positioned. It may increase vehicle registration beyond a threshold of 60% and more.
Head of Sub-Saharan Africa at VFS Global, Alok Singhal, said the conveniently located center will offer a more personalized experience and is equipped to handle high application volumes with expedited processing times.
To finally, achieve this because we wanted to showcase the kind of partnership that we have with DVLA in order to provide, convenient access to the Ghanaian citizens.
That's all for business. We have more business update for you at 1 p.m. on the marketplace. Up next is sports.
We bring you sports now on Joy News Today with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullahi. The Chief of Staff of the Republic of Ghana, Julius Debra, is calling on corporate Ghana to sign up for this year's Joy Sports Invitational Tournament. According to him, the event serves as a platform not just for fitness purposes, but also it creates an opportunity for corporate organizations to network. There's more in this report.
Fantastic thing, probably it's about time we escalate it a bit further. My thing will be to encourage all Ghanaians, especially those from the corporate world, that we can't just work without having a little bit of fun. Sometimes you need this kind of opportunity to interact with people, network, and and make things happen. And so I'm really looking forward to be part of this. I feel very proud to actually be part of it. I want to invite each and every one of you to be part of this year's Joy Invitational Tournament 2025, which is happening on August 9th. Trust me, you got to be there because we all need to keep fit to enable us to have a healthy country. I'm going to be there. I'll be part of the aerobic move. And of course, I also kick some balls around.
It is not every day that the Chief of Staff of the Republic takes time off the corridors of power to lace up his sneakers for a fitness challenge. But for Julius Debra, sport is more than competition. It's about health, wellness, and building stronger bonds between people. Values that align perfectly with the ethos of the Joy Sports Invitational Tournament. On July 17, when the Joy Sports team, led by the Joy Brand's General Manager Fifi Kumsin, visited his office, the conversation went beyond the ceremonial. It became a reflection of healthy living, leadership, and the power of sport to unite. That meeting sealed his decision. The Chief of Staff will join Ghana's business and corporate leaders for the Joy Sports Invitational on August 9 at the University of Ghana Stadium. But this wasn't a sudden eye-opener. Every week, Julius Debra is already leading by example. His routine, early morning walk with friends, No fanfare, no cameras, just feet hitting the ground, conversations flowing, and wellness in motion. On July 19, he was joined by many of his close companions on one of these walks, which stretched nearly 2 hours. Afterward, he opened up about what fuels his passion.
Generally speaking, it's always better to try and exercise, burn out the calories, and then be strong. What we normally do is that because most people don't exercise, we wait and then we get ill and go to hospital. That's curative. But we are of the view that when we exercise, we prevent or we avoid getting sick.
For him, exercise is not a luxury, it is a necessity for the body, the mind, and for the future. His vision is to take this walking culture beyond Accra into communities and eventually across Ghana's regions.
Well, the truth is that President Mahama told me one day that how about we even escalating this nationwide and then encouraging people to exercise. In fact, I've been waiting for him to start because he brought up the idea. And that, he exercises a lot. But we're looking at having a national platform where we say, hey, countrymen, instead of we sitting down to get ill, why don't we?
That is your sports for now. We do have more sports stories on my joyonlinehit.com. MFR is standing by with the rest of the news.
Thank you so much, Mufta. We shall bring you showbiz, but immediately before that, in the heart of Accra, a unique structure is turning heads and sparking conversations. The Toilet Mall, blending basic sanitation with small-scale commerce. This unconventional facility is fast gaining attention as one of the city's most unusual places on convenience, designed to provide clean, accessible public toilet while creating space for micro-business. The Toilet Mall can be described as a response to Accra's ongoing challenges with sanitation and informal trade. Here is a Ghana News Agency report.
In the heart of Accra's central business districts, a unique public toilet facility is causing a stir, not because of any controversy, but because of its name, Toilet Mall. The two-story facility near the Makula Market is not only catching eyes with its unconventional branding, but also winning hearts for its cleanliness and other services. In a city where access to clean and safe public restrooms can be a challenge, one man's idea to add a little flair to sanitation is making waves. Here within the Makula Enclave stands the Toilet Mall.
If you are doing something, you have to get some name or attract people, but even to not just the name too alone. You have to make sure that the facility and then the way you are handling the place, you get with the name. You get me? And that's exactly what we did.
The facility, opened just 6 months ago, features 32 toilet seats, bathhouses, and a waiting area with a television set.
It's good, not bad. The patronage is not all that bad. It's good. People are coming, they are commenting that no, they encourage us. It's fine, but we have to keep it neat the way it takes. But you see, people open toilet new like this, and then later on it turns different thing altogether. So we take their advice and we make sure that we do what they want, not what we want. That's what they want. So we have to do it to attract them. Some even come before that. They are first time people. They come also with their friends. So I think it's very nice. It's very nice. It's very nice. If you don't come before, you can come and have a look and see how. There's no scent, nothing. Everything is neat.
But that's not all. Soothing background music plays inside the stalls, giving patrons a surprisingly relaxing experience.
You're fine, pa. Why are there? Why are neat? It's me. They be a me baha toilet in there. Why are there, Papa? No, why are there? When I met Cheko, me umba give a newa. Fe other one say ni your mumu. Because that one say far be and we fa it will me baby and we have everything nice.
Quite innovative, however, your favorite girl, Shola, is here to bring you entertainment to showbiz. Shola.
My name is Lois Sholademi, and it's time for your favorite segment, Showbiz. Let's get into our stories. Now, Joy Prime's much anticipated all-female podcast Talk Your Shh premiered its debut episode on YouTube, hosted by Lois Sholademi. The show aims to provide an unfiltered platform for women to openly explore issues often considered to be taboo in society. In the first episode, the panel tackled the provocative question, which partner would you prefer, loyalty without money or wealth with infidelity? The discussion sparked a range of bold opinions, with comparisons drawn to Cristiano Ronaldo's relationship with Georgina Rodriguez, and passionate debates that kept the conversation raw, honest, and entertaining.
You know me where I want to reach.
Where do you want to reach?
You know Cristiano Ronaldo had their wife. Oh my God.
But you know he built with her. Exactly.
Oh.
Built with her.
Exactly.
Let's ask the question. Let's ask this question. He knows the wife or the woman in question is loyal, understands her, and know everything. Someone would ask, why are they not married or anything? It's like, you see, this men, no matter how you are like, okay, let's be loyal, let's be faithful to each other. Like, it gets to a point, Unim said he won't come and tell her, say, Ebi girl, no. That's why he's not been able to marry. And then he knows that he will get to a point that Ebi Obe were in the crana. That love that they feel is so everlasting. It wouldn't be there like that.
Well, the 13th edition of the Guinness Ghana DJ Awards was officially launched on Saturday at the Luna Rooftop Bar in Accra, established to celebrate the creativity and contributions of disc jockeys to Ghana's music industry. The launch attracted a vibrant crowd eager for updates on this year's event. Organizers unveiled the full list of categories and nomination criteria ahead of the main awards night slated for November 29. The evening featured electrifying music sets and star-studded appearances, creating a festive atmosphere that sets the tone of what promises to be a memorable celebration of DJ excellence.
Come on. For 4 years, and every year it's been amazing, and the experience keeps, getting better.
Well, shouts going out to Mercury Quay and and to Guinness for making this happen in the first place. I think tonight's all about interactions, engagement, making sure the crowd is hyped up, because the whole event is about us being all hyped up.
Ghanaians were not paying attention to it, but mind you, DJs are very important to we the artists.
So when you imagine a world without music, also do imagine music without DJs. We salute you, great DJs.
Imagine we don't have DJs in our events. What is going to happen? So our DJs are the vehicles that drive our music.
All roads lead to the Palms Convention Center on the 29th of November, the 2025 Guinness Ghana DJ Awards. And I want to say a big thank you to you all for coming. And don't forget that we have the after party coming up. We are not done. Welcome.
Back again, Ghana DJ Awards. Let's go.
And that will be all for Showbiz. My name is Lois Sholademi. For more news, Showbiz News, log on to myjoyonline.com. FIDC.
Thank you so much, Shola. We'll talk about that topic first that you discussed on Tokyo.
Right.
Later. But in World Today, at least 16 people have died and more than 100 were injured after a Bangladeshi Air Force training aircraft crashed into a school campus in the capital, Dhaka. Now, footage of the scene at Milestone School and College in the northern suburb of Ottara shows a huge fire and a thick plume of smoke. The Bangladeshi military has confirmed one of its aircraft was involved, and more than 50 people, including children and adults, were taken to hospital with burns. A doctor at the National Institute of Burn and Plastic Surgery told the reporters. And that's how we wrap the bulletin today. I'm Emefa Akosiadeti. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. And thank you so much for watching today.